What's happening, everybody? Welcome to What the F.A.Q, Season 4, Episode
9.
I'm here with Dylan and Sammy Sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Over there, for those of you that haven't seen it.
With a bedazzled beard.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see it.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I was like, who,
Yeah, I just went through
he must have been at the club.
Yeah.
He must have been out at the club, getting down last night. Okay, if you guys are new here, it's a weekly question and answer show. You ask us a question, we give you an answer, and that's it. Most of the time, yeah. I mean, sometimes we go off on rants and such things.
Yeah, I was just saying, we don't have to necessarily go in this order, because Ben's is technically a repeat of another one, but we can hit it again.
All right, well, let's start.
It's kind of funny, because like he's been on this quest for the delay thing, so it's like now I think he's circled on it a few times to where like I think he's forgetting who he's talked to about which, because
now it's coming back around.
Well, yeah, because it came up in one of his streams, and some guy, and I think I actually have it in here because he sent it to me, but some dude had actually compiled a whole list of like all of the delays that, and I guess I'll just flash it on the screen at some point when we get to that question. But anyway, yeah, flash it on the screen. But anyway, I guess we could start with maybe Terry's question.
All right,
Terry 3Gs asks, thoughts on the lace sensor pickups, and have you guys ever played any instruments with them in it? I did once, and I actually did really like it. It was, the guy that had the guitar was kind of going for like a Matt Pike sleep kind of sound, so I think he actually bought the Matt Pike signature lace sensors. They were actually pretty good. Previous experience with them was more with those, what was that series of Strats that had them in them?
the Clapton.
Yeah. So I played
That's
those.
where I've played them.
Okay, because I was gonna say I remember that, and that was a totally obviously single coil humbucker, but still it was a vastly different sound. So I mean I can't say that like playing two of their sets really qualifies me to really speak about their stuff, but both of them were really good. So.
Yeah, and the only thing I've ever tried was the different variations of the Clapton single coils, because they had the red, the gold, the silver, I believe, and they all had different kind of voicings, and I played those in Strats and I liked it.
Yeah.
I just never could afford to buy them.
Yeah, I was gonna say they
when I tried them, or
Right.
it were back in the day when they were kind of like all the rage.
Well, yeah, they tend to be pretty. I mean, the humbucker ones that I tried, they were interesting. They had a huge mid-range kind of hump to them.
Huge tracks of land.
land.
Mid-ranges.
With wild mid-ranges. But yeah, the mid-range on those was just, it was kind of like snarling, which was interesting. It almost had more of a P90, like that edge to it.
I do like that.
Yeah.
You know how I like my P90s.
Yeah.
All
A
right.
little compressed too, actually, now that I remember.
Oh, that was the thing that I
Yeah.
remember too. Yeah, about the single coils. There was a bit of compression, which
Yeah.
I liked, because it added a little bit of note length too.
It gives you a little
That's where
sustain.
Clapton was getting a lot of those. I think a lot of those singing, sustained notes when he off of like the Journeyman. I mean, that was way back.
Well, especially when he was playing, when he plays a little cleaner, it still sustains in an interesting way, and I think that at least a good part of that probably is those pickups from that period.
I'd agree. All right, let's move on. So now we got Jake M. Gagoots. That's what it's going to be.
Jake M. Gagoots.
Jake M. Gagoots asks, who is your favorite British blues guitar player? His is Peter Green, which is a killer player. And how would you go about replicating, emulating their tone with gear from the shop?
Does Paul Kossoff count as
I think
blues?
so.
I think Jake would, because Jake was actually not this Jake, other Jake, Jake that works with us on Saturdays. He kind of got me in, because I mean, he's like, Paul Kossoff is like probably I feel like his number 2 or 3, because he loves like Paul Cochran, and then Paul Kossoff is like it is Paul Cochran, right? I got that right. I hope I didn't miss that. Or was it Eddie Cochran? No, that doesn't sound.
Eddie Cochran,
man, he's gonna kill me now.
Older. Eddie Cochran was like,
maybe it was Eddie.
more
That's what I meant. It was Eddie
Yeah.
Cochran. Yeah, he's gonna slap me on Saturday. But anyway,
probably.
Paul Kossoff though was one that he kind of introduced me more to. But I got to say, like as time goes on, I love his sound. Like especially his vibrato. Like I still can't do it because he would do that like huge bend, and then he would still vibrato right at the top of it. Like huge vibrato, and I could never figure out exactly. I don't know if he was using lighter strings or exactly what that technique was, but I can never get that kind of vibrato. Because to me, like even the BB King vibrato, it looks simple, but it's really not.
Right.
And then like Paul Kossoff to me was like he took that same thing, but then added a massive like
extra,
bend and a half to it, note and a half bend, and so he would probably be my favorite, I guess. And honestly, a lot of these guys are gonna have pretty similar gear. I mean, some kind of Gibson into some kind of Marshall, more or less. But.
Yeah, because I mean, for British blues, I mean, you got shit. I just went blank.
Clapton, obviously.
I just saw him, but Clapton would be in the ranking. I would put. Geez, why my brain is gone to shit. I could visualize it. He's a wee fella. Does a lot of tremolo.
Jeff Beck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Sorry, my brain I'm just not on it. And then there was another one that I was, Rory Gallagher would be another
Rory,
one.
yeah.
There again, what gear would we replicate? Well, a Strat.
Well, that one
all those guys, basically Strats.
Well, yeah, early blues, though, early British blues, I feel like is like SGs, Les Pauls.
Yeah, but then you're looking at a lot of early British blues could be considered more of a rock.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, it's...
Because, even Peter Green, that's a lot of blues, but there was rock in there, too. So.
Yeah. Well, I think all those guys kind of... Yeah, they laid the foundation for a lot of the blues rock, psychedelic rock, all that stuff.
Could even put Keith Richards in there.
Yeah, technically,
I mean, and if I think about it long enough, I'm sure I can think of a few more...
But yeah, I mean, a lot of them...
A few more guys there, too.
Yeah, honestly, now that you're bringing that up, like, out of that contingent of guys, if you go to the other side of it, though, even though Richie Blackmore, I don't really think of him as a blues player, you could do the same thing. You could do his tones with a lot of that gear, too. So, yeah, basically Strat and or SG / Les Paul, or for bonus points, Flying V or Explorer, into some kind of... Basically, either a blues breaker style Marshall or even, like, some of the early JMPs. But yeah,
you could put Yardbird stuff in there. You could put Zeppelin stuff in there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page.
Well, yeah, because I mean, really, a lot of their early stuff is just blues covers or blues kind of mashups, more or less.
Well, back in the '60s, when a lot of the old blues guys found a lot more resurgence in the UK.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of arrangements actually recently because I'd kind of been making my way back through some of like Howlin' Wolf's less common albums, and I actually was going through. Well, I went through Electric Mud previously, obviously.
Which is such a wicked album.
It really is.
The sound, just it's a wicked album. If you've never heard it,
well, yeah, I was saying Electric Mud, and so right after that, I followed that up with Howlin' Wolf's. I think it's just called Howlin' Wolf's new album. It's the one that says Howlin' Wolf doesn't like. Yeah. But that one's actually pretty awesome, and there's certain arrangements, like when I was a kid, I'd heard like other rock bands like Soundgarden and other bands do arrangements of Howlin' Wolf songs, but I never knew like where they came up with those, embellishments. Like I thought it was just either something they came up with or something they kind of just threw in there at the last minute until I heard that album, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's where all these missing like redone versions of Spoonful and Smokestack Lightning
somewhere else.
Yeah, because like Smokestack Lightning, if you listen to that, like I think it is 4/4, but like if you listen to it on that album, the way the beat just kind of drags and it doesn't ever land exactly where you think it's gonna land, and so it's a pretty interesting album in terms of like it's almost psychedelic. And, Howlin' Wolf doing the vocals. So it's like a lot of that stuff, I feel like all the British guys just took that and then dialed it up a little more. It's basically where all that transitioned to anyway.
Check out Howlin' Wolf, the London sessions.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
Clapton with the Stone? Or, well,
Clapton, and then the Keith Richards, I believe, is in it.
Brian Jones.
Hubert Sumlin's in it. I mean, it's really fun, really good. And I think that was when he was kind of sick.
Oh, okay.
But he sounds amazing. I mean, he's still just amazing. So all right. So there you go, Jake.
I guess he did say from the shop. So I guess the origins, those would probably get pretty close, and even those reissues of the Plexis that we have in right now.
Yeah, and the Strats.
Yeah,
and
the random Lester Pauls that come in.
That are laying around.
Lester Pauliniuses that come in.
He's Roman. All right. So Shred Ain't Dead. asks us, how many amp tones are there really?
Yes.
After Fender, Marshall, Vox, and variants they spawned, how many other amp circuits are actually unique?
Yes, this was a kind of question we were talking about yesterday a bit, and I mean it's interesting to me. Recently, I feel like the Revs have been some of the more like it has it has nodes it has nodes of other amplifiers in there, but it doesn't straight up remind me of a clone of something that's just been tweaked.
Trainwreck.
Yeah, and I was gonna say Trainwreck could probably be another outlier. Obviously, the Dumble thing.
That's where I was gonna like the Dumble would be there. I think I had another one.
To me, Mesas and Dumbles
like Supro back in the day, Supro.
Yeah. To me, I think Mesas and Dumbles, people don't always appreciate, I think, how much overlap there actually is with the Mark 1.
I think those are pretty closely tied, though.
Yeah, because like the Mark 1 Mesa Boogie, like the very first one, that one, compared to like an early Dumble, they're super similar.
Yeah.
And I mean, Santana, I think, obviously, is probably one of the main guys that's played both, but he's loved both pretty equally. So, I mean, I think that does say a lot about the early Mesa sound. But again, that's more of a modded Fender, which is also what Dumbles were modded Princeton, so.
Right. But I think there's some other options there.
Yeah. No, I mean, at the end of the day, like, Greg's point was, like, at most, there could only be, like, 10 at most.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I wouldn't say there's a ton. It's the same thing with, like, it's funny because I was thinking about that same thing with guitars. Mm-hmm. So I was checking out, I was Googling some stuff and looking at companies, and I go, so it looks like a Strat.
Yeah. No,
it's just a variation of a Telecaster.
Right.
It's just a variation of a Les Paul. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the stuff that was the big guitars back in the day, everything is just a small variation of that for the most part.
Yeah, no, it's just a small tweak.
Well, we got a brand new guitar company. Great, what do you do? Fucking Strats and Teles.
Well, it's just, same thing with basses. What basses are you guys going to do? Oh, P bass, jazz bass, maybe an active bass. And it's like but they all end up kind of more or less becoming, P basses and jazz basses.
Dude, I think though basses, we do see more. Yeah.
Well, no, I feel like there's oddities on.
This got a longer horn. This is a little bit different, but for about the same.
But I mean, there's oddities on both sides. But at the end of it, when you look at certain models, you immediately know what it is going for. And there's probably, arguably, I mean, it depends. The arch tops kind of throw some things in there, but again, there's arguably only 10 to 15 like guitar archetypes kind of. And the rest of them are really just variants on that. And I mean, too, what's weird is like when a company does go ahead and throw out some weird thing, a lot of times they just get bashed for it. Because it's like.
Well, even Gibson, when they came out with the fucking Star Trek V a few years ago, remember? Everybody went nuts. I'm like,
well, even that.
They tried something. Get off their ass.
Well, even
but it was decent.
That one they put out recently, I forgot the name of it.
The Tulip one?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's another one, like, they're getting bashed left and right for that thing, and it's like...
But there are also people that like it. I've seen people that love it.
Well, it's just interesting to me that it's like, when a company does find, like, everybody's always saying, like, hey, why don't you guys do more variations? And then when a company comes up with something weird and new, everybody's like, oh, that sucks. That's not a Les Paul.
It doesn't look like a Les Paul.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even look at like Sterling and Music Man with the St. Vincent with the Mariposa.
Actually,
they do have some oddball.
The St. Vincent, that's a good argument for a more recent body that's not. I mean, I guess in a way it's kind of a tweaked not Billy Bow, but the what's the just the flat square one that
the Bo Diddley.
So that was the Bo Diddley. Yeah. That one's really, I mean, when you think about it, it's like if you took that and just kind of put it through some kind of
50s filter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Filter and boom, there you
almost
go.
Like like the windows and paneling stuff from the 50s. Yeah, exactly. That.
It kind of reminds me of that. There's a ZZ Top album where they're all like they're like triangular and very geometric.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And that's that kind of.
It does
gives
kind
me
of
that kind
of
look.
Yeah.
But
no, you're right. Arguably, that one is a more recent body that has actually kind of taken
that a lot of people like. Yeah. But it's hit and miss. It's like anything. And I think I just saw like
even the Moderna
small,
from Fender. That one's an interesting one.
Yeah.
It's kind of that's like the only one of that series that kind of
and Fender
kept going.
See, what I noticed is that when Fender tries something and they go to shit, people are like, "Meh." But when Gibson does it, everybody loses their fucking minds.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but do you guys notice that? Like when Fender has a miss, it just kind of goes away. But when Gibson has a miss, everybody loses their mind.
That is true. I wonder if that has more to do with like the expectations that are already built up for the company. Like with Fender, I think people like, sort of anticipate every year they're going to throw some oddball items out and just see what happens. And then, yeah, you're right. It's just going to move on. And then with Gibson, I think everybody's like always after them to try to what they perceive get their act together kind of a thing.
Right.
And then, or at least that's how the public perception is coming across. And so then when they do anything and it's not a step towards what everybody thinks they should be doing, then everybody loses their shit. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know. We segued off into other...
Well, that's fine. I mean, we only had a few questions. It was a good topic.
All right. So, yeah.
All right. I think last one is Ben.
Last one is Ben.
So I said, thanks for the reverb question from last week. Question for this time is, can you recommend a delay pedal that has a built-in effects loop to allow me to add effects to the repeats? So like I said,
That's all you, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know we touched on like the timeline, and actually in hindsight, I think I threw the Boss DD500 out there, and I'm not entirely sure that one, I'll have to look into that one again, because that one actually might just be straight stereo, because some of the 200 series, they're adding like effects loop situations, but I don't remember if that one was or not.
I don't know.
But yeah, I was gonna say, Ben had kind of talked about this on his stream the other night, and then yeah, so I'll go ahead and throw the huge list up there, but at least of like what we carry, a lot of like the deluxe Memory Man, like the big one, the 1100, that one will do it. I guess the Panther Cub apparently used to do it from JHS, although that one's been discontinued. I didn't realize that and that was weird. We started carrying that one and then they kind of discontinued it very shortly after.
Shortly after we started with them, yeah. They got some cool things coming out.
They do actually, yeah. They have a few coming out, and then there's a few.
There's a few pedal companies releasing some stuff coming up. Just so you know.
Well, actually, speaking of delays, everybody's obviously been losing their mind over the DL4 and the Space Echoes that are coming out. And I gotta say that
definitely, if you guys want to pre-order now because we only got a few left.
Yes, they've actually been pretty hot. So if you guys do want
pre-order now, I ordered plenty, but don't. Hurry up! Order now!
Yeah.
It's insane!
Limited supplies.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are some companies that have some cool things coming up, and we've got those on order too, that we actually have them in the shop.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean...
we just haven't,
Well, yes.
So they'll be here when they come out.
Yes.
The DL4, we're going to I got to talk to my guy and see.
Well, yeah, because we've had a few requests and it is mostly obviously because people do expect some of the effects from us. We have had a lot of people asking about Line 6 recently.
Well,
I gotta say though,
HX stuff too. So I gotta call my rep. And
with the timing of it though, I do sort of wonder like how upset Line 6 was. I mean, I know obviously Boss did not plan to do what happened with the Space Echo. Because like a lot of people probably know the story, but it was one of those things that I know they didn't plan to do that, but it's like I feel like they totally squashed most of the hype for the DL4. Because it's like the DL4 surfaced, and then like within a day, it felt like the Space Echo just took over everything.
Yeah, well,
because that's like the one at least
it could be.
Because at the shop, that's the one everyone's been coming in asking about. Is like, are we getting them in when they're coming out? Like what feature set it's going to have, and honestly, what they've done for the Space Echo, it seems pretty amazing. I mean, the ability to do all that stuff, and it's all more tactile. It's not, it's not a menu diving thing like the 500 series. So,
and the fact that like the RE202 was the surprise.
Yes,
because everybody already kind of saw the leak.
Yes,
for the RE2.
Yeah,
nobody knew about the bigger model. Right. I didn't know either. I mean, I knew about the leak. I knew about the little guy because I asked him, like, dude, I saw this and that looks like legit.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a fake one. Yeah.
And my rep didn't directly say, that's it, until he had authorization to say it. Right. But I was leaned into it a little bit, going, that looks pretty pretty legit. What's up?
Right.
And then it was very quickly because obviously it leaked. But I didn't know about the bigger model until it was released.
Well, that one, honestly, like the shape of it too, I feel like they've got something else planned because it's like I feel like that shape looks very or eerily similar to the old chorus ensemble and the old like Boss pedal look.
Oh yeah.
So like it'd be kind of cool if they did either a DC or even just like an ultimate chorus where they did like the DC and the CE series in one, like
that
pedal.
would actually be
That would be really cool, yeah. So
Yeah.
like something like, because I feel like that shape is just too, like it's too familiar not to like explore more with.
Do more.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we're seeing a resurgence of, hey, let's bring back some old shit.
Well, it is. It's like I think
so-
they are finally getting that. Like, hey, this stuff is popular on the used market to a point that normal people can't even get it anymore. So let's just go ahead and put something in production that does 99.5% of the job. Or more, because like honestly, like the DC, like
Not everybody could be like us and have one.
well, that's true.
Yeah.
But the DC too, it's like that's one that, I feel like the Waza one, like the old one sounds great. It does sound great, but if you're gonna have something for modern use, the Waza one definitely outperforms it.
Yeah.
So it's all it's give and take. It just depends on how nostalgic you are, I guess.
Yeah. You know me. I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah.
There's certain things that are
Well, there are. I mean, today, like it is nice because there are so many things that can do. Get so damn close to those old things that you don't necessarily have to be in collector market to get an amazing sound. So
I'm looking forward to the Space Echo. I mean, I'm really looking forward.
yeah,
to
no, I've
both
almost
of
been
those.
actively
It's gonna be-
avoiding videos on that one just because I'm like, I don't need any temptation because to me the Volante like covers that, but it's like that one. From what I'm seeing with it, like it kind of traipses into Volante territory now. So
Well, the Volante's a great pedal too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no denying that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm looking at the small. You know me though. I don't really use a lot of that shit.
yeah, but that could be
Anyway,
a cool
but
fun
it
one.
could be.
Yeah,
It's one that I gotta probably just grab.
yeah.
You
I think
know,
that'd be a
so-
good one. And we do have a RE201, so as soon as obviously we get the 202, we are definitely going to be doing a video A-Bing those because
Well,
MJ even
we're-
texted me on tour. He's like, well, we got to do it now. So
Yeah, but we gotta do a giveaway. We gotta do a giveaway with the 201.
no. I mean, we have a real space
Space
Echo.
the real
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, later this week we're giving away
An RE20.
an RE20. That's
Yes.
how I got screwed up.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
So just so you guys know, if anybody's still here listening to any of this shit, just so you guys know, maybe, I don't know, what should we do? Friday? Maybe Saturday?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I think we could. We should.
Yeah,
be able to
maybe
fit that
Friday.
in.
What we'll do is we'll do Friday. So we partnered up with Boss, and we got an RE20, which is obviously what was in production. up
Yes,
to
that
this
was
point.
that was the current
Two button
Space Echo version. Yeah.
Space Echo. We're gonna give one of those away Friday on Instagram. So if you're not following us on Instagram, go there now and follow us, and we'll do the whole Instagram. Hey, tag 2 friends. Say something nice about your mother. Blah, blah,
Right.
whatever the fuck, we're gonna do one of those
Send us a
giveaways.
sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to get extra entries, send us sandwiches or tacos. Send us free tacos. But we're gonna do that Friday because that way I'm obligated.
Yeah, well, we got a little time to get that going. So
Yeah, so we're gonna do a giveaway on that on Friday. And so go to our Instagram,
yes,
flipside_music_Denver.
yes,
Yeah, we put a link in the thing.
yeah. It should. Well, normally it's there. I'll make sure it's there this
Yeah,
time.
we'll make sure there's a thing.
Yeah.
a link in the thing.
Link in the thing.
Yeah. All right, that's it. We
That
good?
is it.
We rambled on for long enough for today.
Yep. Enough rambling.
All right, sounds good. We'll catch you guys on the flip
flip side.
side.